Integrated electrical power company Pestech is set for a better year, according to analyst reports. Backed by its core business of power substations, the company is now branching further into rail, which includes a 700 million contract for the KLIA Aerotrain. But is Pestech prepared for any potential speed bumps along the way? We talked to MD and Group CEO Paul Lim about what the future looks like for Pestech. Analysts are predicting a better year for Pestech, and expectations are margins will be higher. There was a Kenanga report that mentioned that in particular. Do you feel it's a bit too enthusiastic, or do you feel that with the economy picking up, it'll do even better? Because Kenanga gave you some pretty generous expectations.
We foresee a better, business environment, economic environment and all that in the next, hopefully 2022, and then in 2023 everybody go back to normal, even though we still have to walk around with our mask on, but the economic activity will continue. So our margin, in terms of margin, we have been trying to all the time operate our target of margin is between 9 to 11%.
Okay.
So I would say our margin will stick around there, all right? And in fact, we were quite fortunate. Over the COVID year time, in 2020, we were around 8%. And 2021, our result, we were like around 9+%.
Yeah, which is about the bottom end of your average.
Correct, correct. So, but we've been around there, of course, with various reasons. The margin of our works are quite stable over the years, over the last 10 years like that.
So it hasn't really changed. It hasn't changed that much. People haven't squeezed you a bit more.
No, because we're trying to maintain what we are able to give our service, and we try to, because in the sector that we are servicing, Nadia, in the front of infrastructure, right, we do hope that the customer value our service, and in return, we have to give, of course, our value back to our shareholders.
The most recent project award that we saw actually came at the tail end of 2021, right? Was the KLIA Aero project, just under the buzzer. So this appears to be a new area for Pestech to explore. Can you talk a little bit more about the project? And how did you even go into consideration?
We came across our working partner starting to talk to Bombardier at that time. And then, of course, there is also an opportunity that came out with Bombardier, discussed with us that, hey, they think it's going to be very soon, the end of life of KLIA Aerotrain. Somehow or rather, the system needs to be replaced because it's since 1998. And it is an APM 100 where Bombardier has installed. So at that time, we told them, okay, we were already doing rail electrification. So we were at that time doing Southern Double Track and then MRT2 rail electrification. So we are doing all the signaling, the electrical equipment supply and install engineering for all this real work already. And then we think that, hey, so there's an opportunity here. In terms of length, it's only 1.2 kilometers. A good size to start as a company to go from rail electrification to a real technology company that can offer rolling stock, plus control system, plus signaling, all working together in a full package.
So of course it's a good starting point, and you say it's part of your plan. It wasn't just that it fell into your lap. You were already planning to go into this. Pestech was already planning to go into this. Is it a bit of a leap though? I mean, like in terms of expertise, but will you learn from this project first, then go out and bid, or you're already very confident and you want to look for projects around the region?
Right now, of course, we have to now concentrate in ourselves to execute this project, right? To have transfer of know-how a little bit, to do some engineering, so that when we bid outside, of course, we still need partners, right? We don't manufacture the rolling stock. So we hope there will be a long-term partnership with Bombardier. Right now, it is owned by Alstom Rail.
Of course.
So into the region where they are already supplying about, I would say 70%, 80% of the world APM, roll out there. This thing, MAHB decided to give us also the O&M.
I see. Right?
So instead of just building it where we always do, O&M give us opportunity to really pick up the know-how. The know-how of how to operate, the know-how of how to, what it means by APM, moving people all around, what will be the challenge. So this will give us a lot of inroad into want to give this kind of service from Malaysia going into the region.
What then is the focus for Pestech? Because you're talking to me about plans that are very long term, at least 5 years, and your new segment, it's definitely a new earning segment.
Yes.
But what will be the focus for like the next new 12 months? Because the year looks so shiny and new. Are you catching up on work that was delayed because of MCO? Are you doing that now? Are you sort of like turbocharging?
For Pestech, we have order in hand as of, I guess, in September, it was 1.58 billion around there. All right, and then with this new order in hand, we will be standing at around 2-something billion ringgit in terms of ringgit. So it will give us a book-to-bill value of around maybe 2 years. So our next year, we will concentrate in delivering our work, right, completing it.
And replenishing when there's opportunity?
Yes, of course, because mind you, Nadia, the region now coming out of a pandemic,
yes,
and there will be need for growth, all right? And nowadays, you can't grow without asking for more power, because electricity is the basis of growth. We need power to energize growth. So we foresee there will be more and more opportunity in terms of offering our service, because we are in the sector of delivering, actually at the back, the infrastructure required to energize growth. And we try to energize this sustainably. That's what we're trying to do right now. We are trying to go into renewable energy, telling people there's other ways to expand your electrical network, right? If you are there enough to pick up all the new solution and all that, there's this opportunity.
For the coming 12 months, is there any particular country you're concentrating on? I mean, now you've got the big job in Malaysia. Is that where your resources are going to shift, or you're going to give everybody equal attention?
The growth in Malaysia will be provided by the rail sector to Pestech. TMB is a base, right? Of course, the same kind of opportunity we are looking at for substation and transmission line and all that is more to the region, where Cambodia, Philippines, Papua New Guinea. So actually, if you ask me where we're going to concentrate, we go where places they will give us 9 to 11%. And the whole market,
fair enough. Yeah.
And the whole market we're looking at from the World Infrastructure Industry Report, in the whole region between 2025 to 2030, there's about an average of $20 billion investment required in the power and as well as rail industry. So we will go to market, and our revenue, if you look at it per year, is now around 1 billion ringgit.
Around that.
Yeah, so we are at maybe about 1% of the market. So there is available market.